WNBA, what do I always say? The gift that keeps on giving. And if there's anybody who is welcome to chime in and blast Cathy Engelbert and blast the WNBA for the
shocking news just rocked the WNBA world. The face of modern basketball, Caitlin Clark, is back in the headlines, but not for what you think. This time, she's trading the hardwood for the fairway. That's right, Clark's joining one of the biggest golf tournaments in the world, the Florida LPGA Pro-Am, teaming up with Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hall. And guess what? The WNBA's freaking out. Fans are calling it the biggest crossover in sports history, saying she's finally taking control. Because this isn't just a casual move, it's a statement. Bold one.
Clark is getting back on the golf course again this offseason, participating in the Annika golf outing. And she has a couple of caddies that are going to be taking the course alongside her in the form of Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull. Sophie and Lexie kind of called this shot, or especially Sophie did, back before when it was first announced that Caitlin was going to do this event.
Caitlin Clark just locked in 2 caddies for her upcoming golf tournament, and one of them is none other than Sophie Cunningham. Before we break down this wild twist, smash that like button if you're backing Caitlin Clark, and drop your take in the comments. Should she walk away from the WNBA if golf gives her more love and respect? Now let's get into the real issue that's keeping Cathy Engelbert and WNBA execs awake at night.
Is on the golf course at Annika LPGA Pro-Am. So here it says 2 fever teammates to caddy at the Annika Pro-Am, highlighted by Caitlin Clark's return. Caitlin Clark will again tee it up with Nelly Korda, joined this year by fever teammates Lexie Hall and Sophie Cunningham as celebrity caddies. This is an article written by Scott.
It all started when Caitlin Clark got an official invite from the LPGA to play in the Annika Pro-Am, one of the most elite tournaments on the planet. Nobody could have guessed what she'd do next. Moments after the invite, she called Lexie Hall and Sophie Cunningham. Her message was short and powerful. Let's show them what real respect looks like. Golf wasn't just giving her a chance to play, it was giving her a chance to be celebrated. Meanwhile, the WNBA had given her fouls, hate, and cheap shots. LPGA legends like Tiger Woods, Annika Sorenstam, and Nelly Korda welcomed her with open arms. Even as critics tore her down, fans said, "This girl's special." And when the news hit, the WNBA went into full-blown panic as execs tried to figure out what just happened.
Debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day. So I talked about it in a previous video, how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television. And that was great. Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name is Nelly Korda. So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere. And the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their #1 golfer who...
Sources say Cathy Engelbert instantly called her legal team, warning Caitlin, "If you go to the LPGA, you'll break media contracts." But Caitlin didn't flinch. She just smiled and said, "You can't stop me from shining." And boom, everything exploded. Fans started comparing the numbers, and what they found was wild. Golf sponsorships were up tenfold. Respect through the roof. The LPGA was already prepping record coverage for her debut, and the buzz was insane. A leaked clip showed Caitlin practicing her swing next to Nelly Korda, and that perfect clean stroke went viral in seconds. Commentators called it the shot heard round the sports world. Even LeBron James retweeted it, saying Caitlin's in a league of her own. And through it all, Lexi and Sophie were right by her side, backing every move.
Having Brianna and Carson joining Caitlin at the Annika is an opportunity for Gamebridge to showcase the variety in our sports sponsorship portfolio. In addition, as partners with the Indiana Fever, we look forward to welcoming Caitlin's teammates Sophie and Lexi to Tampa Bay to elevate and shine a spotlight on women's sports. Gamebridge is the presenting sponsor of the event, once again putting a spotlight on women's sports. The annual LPGA tournament features the world's best female golfers competing for a share of $3.25 million purse and proceeds benefiting the Annika Foundation. For Clark, Hall, and Cunningham, it's a chance to strengthen connections across women's sports while
When Caitlin Clark arrived, the LPGA rolled out the red carpet. Private jet, fan lines, and roaring crowds. It was electric, something the WNBA had never quite matched. But inside WNBA offices, it was dead silent. Panic mode. Sources say Kathy Engelbert called an emergency meeting with team owners. The question hanging in the air: what's left for the WNBA if Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi start pulling in millions of golf fans? Sponsors are freezing contracts, and ratings have dropped 27% this quarter. One insider even told ESPN that if Caitlin doesn't return by 2026, the WNBA might not survive.
Fans cheering her, signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfers as well. But Caitlin Clark is all over this. And this was the perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do, like, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player goes to an NBA game or goes
across women's sports? Caitlin Clark's name is echoing loud, but she says she's not chasing drama, just peace. Golf gave me what the WNBA took away, respect, she told her team. That quote hit harder than any game winner. The LPGA's confirmed record-breaking ticket pre-sales, and most fans say Caitlin's the reason they're showing up. People are flying in from other states, and even other countries, just to see her play. Insiders say brands are lining up with over $100 million in offers. And rumors claim Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi are already planning a charity event of their own.
There's Caitlin Clark with Nelly Korda, who, was impressed with Caitlin's poise on the golf course last year, even with the crowds, and said she got into women's basketball because of Caitlin. Sophie Cunningham says Caitlin Clark need a couple of caddies. Lexi Hull with the smiling face or whatever that is, and some beer cheers. And Lexi Hull says, sign us up. And you thought that was the end of it, right? At least I did. I did not think we'd be revisiting that. Just felt like the cute little remnants of the Instagram comments section. But
all over the world, women's sports are gaining stars while the WNBA risks losing its biggest ones. And now, everyone's asking the same thing. Is Caitlin Clark done with the WNBA for good? Or is this just the start of something bigger? Why go back to basketball after feeling golf's love, respect, and billion-dollar energy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Caitlin give the WNBA one last chance? Or stay where she's finally appreciated? Because this story's taken a dramatic turn, and one thing's clear. This is bigger than golf. Caitlin Clark's showing that greatness can't be boxed into one arena or one title.
The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, bringing Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham along for the ride as golf caddies at her golf.
And now, as she steps into golf, Caitlin brings that same fire she had on the court. The buzz, the excitement, the emotion. It's not just about sports anymore. It's about recognition. Recognition of skill, hard work, and worth. Sports are built on stories. And Caitlin Clark's story is becoming one of those legendary ones that breaks barriers. She's proving that true greatness doesn't depend on a league, a label, or anyone's expectations. It lives inside the person.
Taking her talents to the golf course, where she will join Clark for the Annika Pro-Am tournament next week. Unlike Clark, however, Cunningham will not play in the tournament. She and Fever teammate Lexi Hall have committed to be Clark's guest.
Whether she's on a packed basketball court or standing on a quiet green, Caitlin Clark has that spark. Just her presence makes people watch, feel, and connect. That can't be taught, it's earned. Earned through years of work, discipline, and confidence. Her decision to play in the LPGA Pro-Am with Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall shows something deeper: unity.
Has opened up the opportunity for both Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall to be a part of this huge non-basketball, I said non-basketball event. So again, when you talk about Caitlin Clark opening things up for other people, it's not just on the basketball court. That is the kind of...
When women athletes lift each other up instead of competing for the spotlight, their influence multiplies. Their reach grows, their voices get louder, and their power becomes undeniable. Their bond sends a message to every young athlete out there. You don't have to stand alone to be strong. You can build together, shine together, and rise together. That's what this moment is really about. Not just the event, but the meaning behind it. Proves women's sports are evolving. Fans aren't cheering for brands or leagues anymore. They're cheering for Caitlin Clark. For her story, her fight, and her fire. The question now isn't if she'll stay in basketball or move to golf. It's what she'll redefine next.